If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Granger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Granger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
And hey, welcome to a post-Father's Day edition of Kick to the Gut. It is Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Young. I'm not,
Yes,
not saying that you're a father, but...
yeah, my dogs kind of don't really count. But to all fathers in Singapore, all around the world, Happy Father's Day. Hey, we salute you.
Yeah, man, to all fathers, to all daddies, to all,
So does it mean that Dominic Mysterio is celebrating Father's Day as well with Liv?
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure. So yeah,
he is Daddy Dom after all, right?
It's a great day. People always keep forgetting about the dads, and shout out to all of you guys, man. I know you guys are the one that is the silent guardians of your families. So have a good one today.
Absolutely.
Yesterday.
I hope that Dom actually does like a little video with Ray. I miss that. Remember last time they used to do a lot of like videos when they were selling their feud lah. He was always calling Ray a deadbeat dad. Like, I would like to see some kind of continuity there, even though they are not really feuding anymore. He still refers to Ray as a deadbeat dad, right? So yeah, I think it would be kind of nice.
Yeah, and the thing about Dom is he is getting over as a babyface, like low-key.
Yeah.
Like, people are starting to enjoy his work. And I don't think I think he potentially can even do even more heel turns.
Yes.
As a heel.
I think he's almost at that Eddie Guerrero, so bad he's lovable kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
And I'm kind of happy that he kind of found his own way. Yes, he's paying homage to all of these older wrestlers, But like, I still feel that there's something really special, like unique about him still.
Bro, can you imagine in 2 years they run the storyline where he really was Eddie's kid? Imagine that. Do you think they would do that?
I hope the days of Vince McMahon booking is over. But then again, if you talk about this past week's WWE, there are some rumblings that, whether is that the better thing?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Look, let's be real. As quote unquote, and we talked about it a little bit off the air, and we can talk about it now, right? Like, I feel like the current WWE product has gotten a bit like, okay, maybe because the highs were so high. I think that has to play into it as well. But now we've really sort of come into a lull in that it's not that interesting things are not happening. There are a lot of good things happening. Like, the women's division is actually really picking up, if you think about it. I guess it makes sense because we're leading to Evolution, right?
Yep.
Maybe it's done on purpose, yeah?
Yeah, perhaps they are focusing on other things. But I would agree to a certain extent that like the product has kind of settled. But do you think, is this comparable to the other post-WrestleMania slumps? Because this is usually the time of the year where the product historically is gone like a bit still.
Right, because they are starting up new feuds, gearing up for the next big event, right? Yeah, I totally get that. Let me ask you this. Do you think that a bit of the blame, let's play the blame game, a little bit of it can be put on Final Boss? I mean, if you think about it, right? If this John Cena thing wasn't so ho-hum, if John Cena if The Rock didn't come back and do the whole I'm the final boss, Cena's my guy, blah, 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 and then completely disappear, would it feel as like question mark? And here's the thing, right? Like, no matter how good the rest of your card is, if the tippy-top main event stuff is kind of meh, it kind of drags it all down, doesn't it? Like, from a viewer perspective.
Yeah, okay. What's that thing in Marvel where it's like an event that affects everything in the timeline?
Right, like a giant crossover?
No, like it's like the source event.
Oh, canon event.
Yeah, it could be the canon event, or like basically it's the one that creates all these butterfly effects, right? I think if Final Boss had turned up at WrestleMania, even for like a smidgen or something like a cameo, it would still feel like everything is tied up. Yes. But now it feels like everything is kind of like, wishy-washy, like people are scrambling. And this also, we can talk about like R-Truth as well. I mean, we can talk about him in a bit. But like, do you think that also would affect general plans that WWE would have had, because they didn't expect to have such a great reaction for him.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, that's the beauty of the pro wrestling business, right? A lot of these things that grow organically, they are not so like ironclad. Some of the, contracts that, oh, sorry, you're out, you cannot come back. Like people will come back one. Like, oh, okay, we have a good hot, like maybe 4 months with you. Let's work out a new deal. That's the beauty of pro wrestling. But I see where you're going with that too, in that could have been the canon event. I'd like to think The Rock inserting himself into everything was the canon event, in that he didn't need to. I think that started to put a little bit of a stink on, to be honest, something that was very hot for a long time.
I mean, if you look at like everything that's gone down, right? Maybe John Cena's heel turn, people are kind of questioning, there is a bit some criticism, because it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be his last year. Everything he does should feel very, consequential, significant. And in a way, it has been. He's gone through like some opponents, and he ran down all the opponents that he's faced recently, and all these are like proper marquee matches like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and even R-Truth. There's a storyline reason for it. So everything on the surface makes sense, but there's that second, third layer of storytelling that we are so accustomed to with the bloodline.
Yeah.
Right? And probably that's the reason.
That's true. And there are a whole host of other reasons that we will get to in just a few moments as well. But not before we give a big shout out to the one and only Hasif, the main man, of course, sponsoring the podcast, keeping the lights on, as it were. Our finance, fitness, F&B, entrepreneurship bro. He is a bro of many hats, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And he is one of the guys who loves and supports our pro wrestling community, be it here in Singapore. He come to the events, he's been to Grapple Max, SPW. He knows what you guys are all about, and he's happy to support our community. So guys, do him a solid and follow him back on his social.
That's right. Instagram is Hasif_captures. Just drop him a follow. And, if you have anything you want to pick his brain about in terms of finance, fitness, F&B, and entrepreneurship, just drop him a DM. He's one of those guys. He loves when people slide into his DMs.
Happy Father's Day to him as well, I guess.
Wait, is he a dad?
No, but apparently he's daddy.
Okay. Like in a Dom Mysterio kind of way. Oh, wow. I don't know if he would
from what I've gathered from the Malay Muslim women's community, from what I heard.
Are you divulging a little bit too much at this point right now?
No, I'm just a solid friend who's doing him a solid, bro.
Okay, yeah, slide into his DMs. There you go.
Okay, let's go.
Ask him about finance, fitness, and F&B and entrepreneurship stuff. Everything else, I don't know. That one, not our diety already.
One, our limits.
Yeah, that's our limit already. But what is not off limits is when we talk about pro wrestling, I want to say that is Cody Rhodes' chase of Cena a retread of what we've seen already. He's already chased Roman Reigns, right? And it was a 2-year chase. And we're used to the same old. It feels like the same old with Cody. It feels... I don't know why it doesn't even feel fresh anymore when John Cena comes out and scowls.
You know what's the crazy thing? I was watching SmackDown, and of course Cody was in the main event. I was listening to the audience.
Yeah.
The pop, not there.
I mean, R-Truth? Yeah.
I mean the Cody Rhodes pop.
Yeah, I know. But R-Truth is the one getting the pop now, and that's why they brought him back. They know that this is the type of situation you need to catch lightning in the bottle, right?
Yeah. I think the thing about Cody is that yes, you're right. Everything he's doing right now is a retread of Roman Reigns, his chase with Roman. They could have done something way different with Cody and John Cena, because Cody technically considers John Cena a mentor, somebody he's trying to walk in the footsteps of being the number one guy in the company, the quarterback and all that, right? I wish they told that story more about the personal connection Cody has with Cena. That would have made this chase a bit more personal, if that makes sense.
Right. And instead, it's all about Travis Scott and Cena beating him over the head with the belt. And he's just, Cena is just cheating a lot more than he used to,
Yeah.
Like, I don't even feel like the story of I'm older, therefore I need to cheat has been told very well. Like, I don't get that sense of desperation. Like, do you?
No, not at all. I mean, in fact, on SmackDown, he was trying to justify himself, saying that he's like a strategist,
Oh, yes, let's talk about that promo. I've been thinking I'm a mathematician. I've worked out all, what? I was like, what is going, is this I feel like he's going back to his prototype days. when, he's all like, I'm a machine, I'm built for success, blah, 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 which obviously never saw the light of day because that was his character in OVW, right?
Yeah. The thing about, again, we've talked about it a couple of times, like John Cena's heel turn, it's not the type of heel that we thought he would be, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talked about it a couple of times. Winter Soldier, like, I would prefer cerebral Cena, stone face Cena with a lack of emotion. if
Well, I
possible.
mean, you could argue that he is being cerebral. He talked about he had all the, he know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just not hitting. I don't know. But what I do know is that CM Punk entering the picture right now. In a weird way, I feel CM Punk will bring out the best in John Cena
Oh,
to a certain extent. Right?
there is no doubt, right? But do you for a second think that CM Punk is going to win the title?
Nah,
I mean, I think it would be great, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's going to be in Saudi, and there's even story behind that. So that's where they're treading, right? In terms of
Yep.
like I'm going to force you to come to Saudi with me. And if you are a fan you'll know that CM Punk like several years ago actually made a tweet about blood money.
Yeah, shitting on people who go to Saudi Arabia, right? Do I have a very sneaky feeling once he's there and got some young Arabic boy go up to CM Punk and say, "Hey, I also straight edge. I don't drink. I don't eat pork. I respect you. You're my idol." Then he's like, "Oh, lama, okay lah, give chance." I'm sure there will be this kind of interactions once he realizes that
Yeah.
it's really the government that is the it's like all things, right? It's always the government that's the issue, it's not the people.
Yeah, the people are always usually, decent human beings, right? But yeah, so it's interesting that they're kind of leaning into that in a wink way. But obviously they can't say it out loud because they don't want to offend their paymaster, right? But
Yeah, for sure.
it's for the fans who know lah.
But what do you think about, like we are talking about Cody right now, but then suddenly we are inserting CM Punk into the fray. Like, and suddenly Cody is taking a backseat and going into the King of the Ring qualifiers.
You know what? I think Cody needs a break. I think he needs to go on a side quest. I don't want to see him do this chase again because, like we talked about, I think he's stale. We've seen this run before. So maybe him going to the King of Ring and he doesn't make it through. He doesn't win. That sends him on a different path. And then that's maybe how we get Rhodeslander, Homelander Cody,
So you're okay if, the WWE doesn't do the whole Cena Cody 2 at SummerSlam and, put somebody else in that position?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm not saying done. I don't say I'm done with Cody running at the championship, but it feels too soon. It feels like, this again,
He can be like the final few months of Cena's career, right?
Yeah, and maybe not now. But then again, do we want like Cody to be the one who takes the title off Cena?
You know what? Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. We got another hot, up and coming babyface that's bubbling right now.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it wasn't planned, wasn't by design from WWE. No, I'm not talking about him as well.
Huh?
The most recent one.
Most recent? Who are you talking about?
I wish you would. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth.
Put some respect on his name. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I don't like as much as I love Ron, right? I think he's so entertaining. I don't think they're gonna change their entire plan for Cena just because Ron's killings got hot, right?
That's the thing, right? Like the thing about WWE, they have shown that they are willing to pivot if it makes sense. And the crowd is talking about it very, very interestingly. And I know we are jumping all over the place. What did you think of that return promo that Ron Killings did on the table on Raw, bro?
I love the idea of it. You know what I didn't like?
What?
I didn't like that CM Punk came out earlier in the show and said the name Ron Killings. I didn't like that. I feel like he gave it away.
I see. Okay.
He spoiled it. Like, why would he do that? You know what I'm talking about, right? On that Raw.
Yep.
Where he comes out, he has an exchange and he said something about Ron Killings. I'm like, huh? What? Okay.
I mean, okay, so it's the interesting thing about this whole dynamic between Cena, Punk, and R-Truth is that it has been done before. Like, there is precedence to it. Because I know you weren't watching WWE in 2011, but when the pipe bomb happened, CM Punk cut that pipe bomb, it was right after a tables match between R-Truth and John Cena.
Oh.
R-Truth won that match and threw Cena into the table. So at that point in time, R-Truth was the number one contender for Cena's title, and then CM Punk went into that whole situation. So it's almost poetic that like 14 years later, it's the same three
Yeah.
figures in this whole equation doing
Right.
something together. So there might be a reason why they're doing it, having CM Punk acknowledge R-Truth and have that dynamic, because that's also what happened on SmackDown, right?
No, but my question
Yeah.
is, why give away the name reveal before R-Truth does it? Like, to me, that made no sense, Because that was supposed to be the moment when R-Truth reveals himself. Yeah, don't call me, put some respect on my name, call me Ron Killings, blah, blah, blah. That should have been the pop moment, right? Even though, like, both times when they mentioned Ron Killings, I think the crowd were like, only half the crowd knew.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, I think CM Punk might have flubbed his lines or like said it, on impulse or out of the blue without
Yes.
thinking.
It wasn't planned, and
It wasn't
I
planned,
feel
yeah.
like as someone who should know better, he should have known better.
Yeah, he did. But
So
I
that's
don't
why
think,
when R-Truth came out and did what he did and cut his hair, I thought it was a great promo, right? But I thought a bit of it was lost because there was no longer that surprise the first time hearing the name Ron Killings anymore.
I get where you're coming from. But when I was watching it in silo, right? Because I just saw the YouTube full version of it. It did not take away from the emotion. Like, I got hyped because there was something different about Ron Killings, the way he cut that promo, and I think it got out. I was reading like in the internet dirt sheets, of course, and they were saying that one of the things that he kind of asked for in his return is to not be mentioned, to not be called R-Truth. He wants to move on and to go back to a more serious character. So I think that was one of his non-negotiables. So I'm glad that that's happening right now, this late in his career, but it's happening.
But
finally.
it's not happening because on SmackDown they refer to him as R-Truth. They've kept calling him R-Truth or Ron Kill. They switch back and forth.
Interchangeable, yeah. I don't think he said like you can't mention R-Truth anymore. I'm just saying that he wants to switch to a more serious character and he does not want to do comedic stuff.
I feel like he's playing some sort of dissociative disorder character, to be honest.
Schizophrenic a bit, right?
Yeah, like both of them are still in there in terms of the, I guess the logic of the situation, right? Because you can't suddenly go from this bumbling fool to like this super serious guy. So I guess that's where we're going with it in terms of a logical standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it's a modern gimmick change lah. In a age of social media where it's so hard for people to say, hey, I want to do a new character. They're like, no lah, I remember you as Tensai,
Yeah.
or like Albert,
Yeah.
So I think, a gradual evolution makes more sense. The cutting of the hair is very, very symbolic. It makes a great, way to kind of transition visually at least. And now the fact that he's just this psychotic guy who's kind of like stalking and hunting down John Cena. Yeah. I think it's an interesting wrinkle in his character. Do you also see on Busted Open Radio he responding to Bubba Ray?
Yeah, because Bubba Ray went on about how like, okay, just I wouldn't mention the word truth anymore. I wouldn't even make it part of my gimmick. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. Cannot say that. And then it was probably a work lah. That whole thing. They're all friends, right?
Yeah, I know, but like what's amazing was that he essentially became crazy and like was kind of when psychotic in a way. And you saw like Natalia selling it. You saw
Bubba selling it.
Dave LaGreca.
No, Dave. Yeah.
Bubba wasn't on it. It's like there's a bit of danger. There's this like, oh shit, we shouldn't disrespect him, and that's missing from wrestling, in my opinion. Like even if in kayfabe, I feel like when somebody gets serious and like, hey, you talk to me like that. Like there's no like, oh shit, there's somebody crossed the line. I've never felt that. Even probably the last time I felt it was like when it was a HBK and Chris Jericho. Remember that feud where he punched the wife?
Yeah.
And then you knew like, oh shit, that crossed the line somehow. And so it feels very, very captivating to watch.
How weird does it feel seeing Ron, R-Truth, botak? When he came out to beat up Cena, I'm like, okay, that's something I need to get used to.
Yeah, it is. But I just can't wait to see this coming, Raw. Was it SmackDown? I'm not sure where they announced the match.
SmackDown.
It's gonna be SmackDown, Cena versus Ron Killings. I want to see what is the Ron Killings presentation.
It's going to be interesting too because like, is this going to lead to a match at a PLE or is it? I hope it's not going to be like just a few weeks contract extension and then that's it, right? Cannot be right.
So the crazy part of me, right?
Yeah.
Like I know technically CM Punk officially accepted the challenge or officially challenged Cena for Money in the Bank, I feel like there's gonna be some shenanigans, and again, R-Truth will, get involved.
You mean Crown Jewel, right? Not Money in the Bank.
Sorry, Night of
Champions.
Yeah.
One of these damn PLEs.
Yeah, it's coming up. But before that, and right after that, and before SummerSlam, there is another Saturday night's main event.
So a rematch for the title?
I think so, with our Ron Killings this time. I feel that it makes a lot of sense there, and then that will cause that uncertainty, right? Whoever wins King of the Ring, they might challenge John Cena in their heads. But what if, the shocker of all shocker might not happen probably, but Ron Killings potentially having a chance to win going into SummerSlam. I think that will turn a lot of heads, and
what if CM Punk wins?
CM Punk, yeah. Again, okay, if CM Punk were to win, I would want CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes to happen somewhere down the line.
Well, I mean, they did tease it on SmackDown, right? They ran into each other and they were like, hey, at some point we have to come together.
Yes, correct.
They were teasing that at some point they will have to fight.
I'm not keeping track of who is in the bracket of the King of the Ring, but I do remember there is, I think...
Randy, Sammy is on one side.
Randy and Sammy is on one side, right? And then, of course, the other side, Cody just qualify, and then there will be one more. Looking at that, right? Cody going to the finals makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Cody versus Randy make a lot of sense.
Actually, but then, all of them make sense. Cody versus Sammy makes a lot of sense. They're friends, right?
Yes, but then Sammy in Saudi Arabia makes super lot of sense. So
yes, that's true.
There is some stakes there, unpredictability.
And the other match that hasn't happened includes main event Jey Uso, who desperately needs to win to advance, because he just lost a ton of heat losing to Gunther in that fashion.
Can we talk about that?
Yes,
match?
Of course.
Okay, so we just came off, a Money in the Bank. They had the tag team match and all that drama. Yep. Logan Paul wasn't even on Raw, right?
No.
Suddenly, Jey versus Gunther.
Logan Paul is really that guy. He's on that Brock Lesnar shit now. He will come in and do a short program and then disappear for a while, and he will always be a draw.
Yeah, I think he's a made man even without being a WWE main eventer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you know what? I say lots of respect to him for being able to get to that position without having, spent the years. I know a lot of people don't like him because of his social media stuff, but he is made for wrestling, pro wrestling.
Yeah. If there was ever going to be a performance center on how to build your social media brand, bro should be like one of the trainers there, bro, for sure.
Yeah, bro is the CEO, bro. That's what's up. But anyway, okay. Coming back to the title loss, did it surprise you when it happened?
It did. But then thinking back on it, and hearing the so-called plans for Triple H, that Triple H has, makes a lot of sense. But again, remember what you said, and I think whatever you just said came true, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
What, like the fact that his yeet movement was wearing thin already?
The fact that you compared his reign to be a Kofi Kingston reign, to
Daniel
be
Bryan,
a Bryan Danielson reign. This has come to fruition, bro. I honestly do not know, hand on heart, whether Jey Uso will come back to the main event scene after this.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. In fact, when it happened, remember the week before, we were talking about it and I was saying okay, it's going to happen within the next month or so that he's going to drop the title, because I feel like this yeet thing has taken him very far. He's a top merch seller, everything, yes.
Yep.
But there's nothing more to it already. It's almost like it's hit the ceiling, and at some point, if you overdo it, it's gonna turn on him. Right? People are gonna get sick of it. I just didn't think it would be last week that it would happen. I thought they got at least 3-4 weeks more to milk of this. But maybe they were like, okay, we want him in the King of the Ring tournament. So why not put someone that people will be super behind? And in fact, if you make the brackets, Randy, Sammy, Cody, Jey, it's like 4 faces, 4 top guys that everyone wants to cheer. It actually kind of, against traditional booking logic, right? It kind of makes sense and is kind of intriguing as well.
Yeah. All 4 got their own fan bases. Makes a lot of sense. I think the thing about Jey is that it's not like people don't like his story or think that he's not worthy. I mean, some sections of the fans perhaps think that way. Yeah. But it's just that it was a lightning in the bottle moment where we saw the Yeet movement was getting hot. We need to
Yeah.
capitalize, give him that main event thing.
Yeah.
Now that is done, right?
Yeah.
Can he really factor and carry storylines for Raw? Looking at it, you have people like freaking, Gunther is on one side, you got
Yeah.
Sammy, you got Seth Rollins, all these players, right?
Bro, yeah.
Like
Bronson Reed. You have so many people waiting in the wings.
yes, and I feel like for John Cena to be like the star, the sun where all the stars are kind of like surrounding makes a lot of sense for him to be in that position. But for Jey, he feels better off as like the LA Knight slot where he is chasing.
Oh,
That's
another topic altogether. There's
Yeah.
been an LA Knight movement recently, if you see, and on
Yeah.
SmackDown, it almost feels like they're trying to push him into that whole main event like bracket scene,
Elevate
but,
him,
but it's like, is he gonna get there? It's like, I wonder if that is by design. I wonder if they're like, okay, we see the rumblings, let's just hold it off for a little bit more. Hold it off for a little bit more so that it builds up. Going back to Jey, right? They kind of did that for a very long time. Give him a little bit, then take back. Give him a little bit, take back. And finally, Yeet movement at its peak, blah, blah, blah. And I guess, you know what? I don't really hate the fact that they took the title away from him because he's already a made man. And back to what you were saying earlier, you're speculating, is this his last, like, not say last, but his brush with the main event, and then after that he's just going to go back to tag teams? I think yes.
Yeah, because based on the rumors again, it's reported that WWE is probably interested in bringing him back, reuniting him with his brother, trying to find ways how they can do that. I don't hate it, right? Because again, I will use another good example: the Hardy Boys, right? Jeff Hardy had a super nuclear run at the main event, right?
Yep.
Everyone thought he's gonna be like take over John Cena as the number one guy. Of course, he fucked up. He's in his own way, but for him to kind of slide back down and reunite with Matt Hardy, it does not feel like a demotion. It more feels like, okay, now he's back to his
roots.
Yeah, like his I don't know what's the scientific term, to his median, is it?
His homeostasis. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, you're right. Same with Kofi Kingston, same with Bryan Danielson. They had that lightning in the bottle moment. They capitalized on it. They will forever have the tag, former world heavyweight champion. And good for them.
Yeah, and then Yeet No Yeet, I think, can kind of live on in the vernacular of WWE.
Yep.
But it doesn't paralyze the main event scene.
Yeah, they can continue to tell more stories, right? And move on. The interesting thing is, so far we talked about all this stuff, right? Roman Reigns still nowhere inside.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
busy training to be Akuma in Street Fighter, is it?
Bro, that $50 million well spent, bro. I mean,
Jeez.
okay, honestly, I like it. You gotta keep a rare Pokemon, in the roster.
Oh, I love the reference, by the way. I love the analogy. Yes, that's true. 100% true.
You can't have everyone, be fighting all the time. And like, that's also my fear, like, of Cody Rhodes as well. If Cody Rhodes, I know he's the fighting champion, but yesterday I was watching SmackDown and he was like part of the Fatal 4-Way, and in my head I'm like, he's one of the guys now. Like,
yeah, he is. No, that's a great way of putting it. He's just he's there. He's part of the scenery. I'm so used to it already. Of course, you can't have everybody be Brock Lesnar and like disappear. You can't have everybody be like Roman Reigns. But that's fine. That's fine. I think what he needs is a new side quest and a new wrinkle in his character.
Yeah, that's what he needs. He needs a wrinkle. Even CM Punk, you're seeing him very regularly on TV right now, but every time he comes out, it feels must-see still.
Is it a credit to CM Punk that he can talk his way out of these situations?
It is. This is his innate ability. This is his star power, X factor, whatever you want to call it, right?
Didn't he flub his line against Cena? But then,
what did he say?
I can't remember what it was. I saw it on social media. I watched the promo too. I didn't even realize. Okay, there was one moment where he looked like he had to pause, and it almost felt like, oh shit.
He's thinking, is it?
Yeah. So on social media, they said like he actually flubbed the line. But I was like, okay, well, I mean, he's pro enough that you don't even realize it.
Yeah, even if he makes mistakes, it feels real. It feels like, oh shit, was not that's not my script. Like, it doesn't feel like it probably feels like a guy who is talking and he's thinking about what he wants to say.
Yes.
So it's not an issue for that. And for me, CM Punk has something that probably Cody doesn't have. Okay, Cody has the one storyline to finish the story, right?
Yeah.
at this point in CM Punk's career, he has so many memorable chapters
Yeah.
that he can kind of reference. And of course you can argue that Cody Rhodes has the same thing. He has his whole AEW run.
Yeah.
But you know what's the difference?
What?
He can't reference AEW all the
No.
time. He can't
Well,
reference his Bullet Club days all the time.
No. He sure as hell is not going to reference Stardust and
Yes.
bashing Cody Rhodes. So yeah, you're right. His history is like a black hole.
2022 onwards.
It's like the AAA former champion. Like, doesn't exist, bro. Vikingo won it off of a faceless man.
Yeah, no Alberto, no Benoit.
Nothing. It's like, oh, who are these? No. Yeah, no, that's exactly it, right? And I think you have hit the nail on the head with Cody. Like, that history, even though it's there, it's not something that they can readily bring up. Whereas with CM Punk, he can talk about the time he was a dick, he was a heel, right? He can talk about the time that he first came in NXT, blah, blah, blah. He has so many reference points.
Mm-hmm. If I was the booker right now, if I was Triple H, what I would do with Cody is give him a crisis of confidence. Give him a crisis of confidence where he lost the title against Cena, he got distracted, and then he gets angry. Maybe he gets desperate, and then he doesn't win the King of the Ring qualifiers.
Yep.
And then again, I know we are all pro Homelander Cody, but bro, like,
imagine if
it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah.
But it will happen when John Cena switches back, I feel.
Yeah, oh yeah. So no, it has to be a slow burn. Yeah, you shouldn't rush this, right? But what better way to plant the seeds of a Cody turn than having Jey Uso beat him? Imagine he doesn't even make it into the finals. He loses in the semifinals to Jey Uso, his friend.
And who if he is the number one heel, who should be the number one face?
Roman. And then we run it back.
Yes, we run it back, but with a new element. Like,
this is Rock Austin. I mean, I'm not saying that Austin's heel turn, they're one of the worst heel turns in the history of WrestleMania main events, right?
I would say misguided. Misguided.
Yeah, misguided. But, like, definitely we want to see that wrinkle. And just put a ball on it. Yeah, Cody needs it. I won't say soon, but at some point in at least the next year, we need those hints already.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, we will talk about the King of the Ring preview probably next week. I think the event is 2 weeks from now. Can we also quickly talk about just in general, because right now we're leading towards Evolution, right? One thing I wanted to bring up was Nikki Bella's return.
Okay, so they very, like, not so subtly are leading to like Nikki and somebody versus Liv and somebody. Some sort of tag team match, because I don't think Nikki can go one-on-one anymore, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear, right? Because Liv is the tag team champion, which has no contenders at this point in time.
Yeah.
With Raquel, and Nikki, of course, has a twin, right?
Yes.
So, do you hate the possibility of that matchup on Evolution too?
No lah, because it's fine. It's Evolution. Evolution feels like a... I don't want to say non-canon. It is canon, obviously, right? They're building the storylines towards it. But it feels like a... How do I put it? Like a special attraction. Like,
Worlds collide like that.
yeah, I guess. All the stories still remain, but, it's got that theme to it. For better or for worse lah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. I don't think they should win. Like, the Bellas suddenly have a tag team run. No, give it to somebody else who is there.
Yeah. People are saying that, the tag team division is like complete ass right now because, there's lack of challenges. But I would argue the opposite, bro.
Okay.
I would argue the opposite because...
Wait, women's tag team division?
I'm talking about women's tag team division.
Yeah.
Well, they spoiled it again. They've been spoiling a lot of returns, by the way. Asuka's coming back.
Right.
So if you got Asuka, you got Kairi Sane. I mean, that's their level. Unfortunately, at this point in their careers, they are a tag team. So keep the Kabuki Warriors as one of the contenders.
But they're gonna be the Japanese tag team. You know what I mean? Again, we go back to that same problem that these Japanese wrestlers have. They're the Japanese wrestler as opposed to something else that is more like something we can relate to a little bit better.
The thing is, I feel like that's probably their ceiling. That's probably where they make sense right now in the whole grand scheme of things with everyone else, right? Like Kabuki Warriors can just do the tag team women's division, and I think it's fine. right?
Yeah.
And people talk about where are the other tag teams. You got Secret Hervis, which I feel developing a very, very nicely as
Slowly,
a
yes.
personality, with Chelsea Green helping there, but Alba Fire and Piper both can wrestle.
You know what I think is actually happening that we're seeing in the past couple of months?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a division of resources or division of attention. Because we've seen the SmackDown men's tag team scene grow quite well, right?
Yep.
Now there's a
Yep.
whole ass division with feuds and storylines, with the White Six, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the men's Raw division is the New Day.
And no one else.
and what's going on? So it's like, okay, now we focus on the SmackDown tag team division. Then once their stories sort of wrap up, then we go and focus back on the mid card. Like I feel like the mid card titles, okay, they have a few months to run. Then now we focus on the Intercontinental. Then that one, the story runs out. Then we focus on, and now they're focusing on the women's division, which I'm very happy for, by the way.
So they can't focus on both concurrently because what? Triple H is too spread thin?
Maybe. Or maybe it's just they don't want to blow, quote unquote, blow their load, like throw everything out there all at once.
Yeah.
You have to let certain things sit and relax first while other things grow so that you don't take away attention from that stuff, right?
Yeah. One more potential tag team that I feel like they are kind of bubbling under, they're kind of like teasing. And I wasn't really paying attention, but I was watching SmackDown yesterday and I realized that they're doing something with Charlotte Flair and
Alexa
potentially
Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Hear me out, right? Because Alexa Bliss by right was supposed to kind of like link up with the White Six. Clearly they've changed, tag on that. And Alexa won her qualification, which was kind of a surprise.
Yep.
But she won at the expense of Charlotte Flair. So crazy story. They are giving Charlotte Flair a losing streak storyline, guys.
Right.
But where will that end up? So that's the key question. Because in my head, right, the only way it can end up, right, is Charlotte Flair forming a tag team. I do not know why. In my head, I feel like she probably in this period where she just got no friends, she's like alone, she's losing, and maybe she takes up on that Alexa Bliss offer that she came in a few weeks ago.
Maybe. Yeah, they've definitely had a lot of interaction, even though they've not done anything with it. So, I mean, when you mentioned that as a potential, I wouldn't be surprised, lah. Because yes, they've been they've teased it enough that it could be a possibility. Yes.
Correct. And you got, Julia tied up with the title picture with Zelina Vega, which I mean, as much as you said Julia is bland, I would rather her as the US champion opposed to Zelina.
I feel very bad for Zelina because everything about Zelina visually is like, okay, yeah, that's a star, right? She's hot. I'm like, oh my God, she's hot AF. I mean, so is Julia, but anyway. But I almost hate to say it because it sounds terrible, but like every time she gets on a promo, the crowd just dies.
Her voice or her...
I don't know. No, it's not even the voice. Like, it's a combination. Okay, it's a combination of everything. She's not involved in any storyline that is memorable, right? Her promo skills are okay at best. And then there's a little bit of the voice as well. So like all add together make for a very bland character. She's the cosplayer. That's it. That's another thing. It's like, okay, she's the cosplay girl. Okay.
But Lyra was in this position just a few months back.
I would, I'm a big fan of Lyra Valkyria. I love the Bird Lady, but she on the mic is also not great. I feel her mic skills are at best because more than anything, this is Becky Lynch sort of making it interesting for her.
Yeah, that's why you need Becky Lynch. You need the veterans. You need even like a Bailey coming back.
Yes. Right. So also did Bailey Bailey got curvier somehow.
I was trying my best not to mention that, but then
I don't know what kind of diet. I mean, that's not what is important. We respect her for her skill in the ring, but damn it,
no, she looks great.
Observation is an observation. She look curvy. Like, what's going on there?
What
diet is she on?
She's nothing against that, bro. That's amazing. Like, the curvier, the better. Go for it.
But yes, all the way. So okay, are we seeing Bailey versus Becky? Which I mean, it kind of sucks for Lyra because she gets pushed out of the IC picture, right?
Or it's great for her because now she is fighting against two contenders.
Okay, so it's a three-way feud lah.
Three-way feud, I would say, and then it kind of brings up, Lyra, because you see, there's precedent for it.
Ah,
Bailey can be pissed off with Lyra because
yeah.
they were supposed to tag team with each other,
Yes.
but then Lyra like never did anything, like we just completely move on from Bailey and just chose Becky after that.
True.
She can call her out on that,
Yeah. So yeah, the women's division, like we alluded to earlier, is really cooking right now.
Yep. I don't hate it. And if you're talking about like unsung heroes on the women's division, you need to give more love to some of the people who are doing bangers on the mid-card division for the men's as well, right?
Right.
Chief among them, El Grande, Shaq
Americano?
Gable. Yes.
Right. No, El Grande and Chad Gable. They're two different people,
Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. But after what he did at Worlds Collide,
Yeah.
God damn it, like, bro, just start with the mid-card, then slowly give him everything else, bro. Come on. You're telling me that Dominic Mysterio can survive against El Grande? You tell me?
Actually, I would love to see them feud. I would.
Yeah, shit. I tell you, battle of the lovable heels that turn into baby faces by design.
Yes, yeah. Can we just have Chad Gable win the AAA title? Like, I would legit start watching AAA.
For Shaq Gable, yeah.
Yeah, for Chad Gable lording over or make it El Grande Americano. Like the fake luchador. And then it can be a whole storyline and he'll be a mega heel in Mexico.
He will be crazy. One person that I was super surprised wasn't on Worlds Collide because I saw him pop up on SmackDown. I was like, why wasn't this fella in Worlds Collide? He would have made so much sense, bro.
Andrade?
Yes, your favorite guy.
Bro, Mr. I don't know what it is lah. He and Aleister Black, they have settled. Like Aleister Black came back and then immediately settled into that. Oh,
too fast already.
He's just there in the mid card, and that's it. Like Shinsuke is another guy, right? Who's just there.
Rusev.
Oh my god, yes. What happened to like he's
feuding with Sheamus apparently.
Oh yeah. After crushing Tozawa.
Okay, this is really an example of WWE has an embarrassment of riches. And I'm gonna be fair because we call out AEW for having too much talents and not utilizing them. I think WWE is reaching that level very, very soon, really.
But okay, here's the thing. You can at least forgive WWE because they have a Braun Breaker. They had, for them, it's like they need to pick and choose who gets to be featured. And hopefully, if they are fair enough about it, everybody gets a chance at the wheel. Kind of like, here's an example. Rhea Ripley, she had a huge wave, right? Now that she's already a made woman, she take a back seat. Because what is she involved in recently? Not much. But every time she comes out, she still gets cheered. She is a monster pop still, right?
That's the name of the game, right? If I'm the manager, if I'm the creative head, my goal is to make everyone so over.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who versus who. It can be The Rock versus Tajiri, but it's going to be over because Tajiri is over, right?
Exactly. So that is what they're doing right now. So that's why they don't have time for certain people. And it is what it is, unfortunately.
And that's why I don't hate them. They let go of Carlito and Sarah Logan and all those people make sense, right?
Yeah.
But then again, you have one time R-Truth Ron Killings, giving a reason why he should make a case to stay. One more person I wanted to mention as well, Karrion Kross. Talk about maximizing your minutes, bro.
Yeah. But I don't know why they just
again, not enough spots, not enough time.
That's true.
Probably.
That's true. Meanwhile, on the other side of the channel, hashtag, oh no, it's just the same old people doing the same old bullshit.
Well,
spinning their wheels.
I'm gonna give some comments about AEW,
bro.
Because I actually bothered to watch it this week.
Oh my god! Okay, yes, please do.
Okay,
let's put a bow on the WWE stuff real quick though.
Let's put a bow on that.
Anything else that is standing out for you in terms of the product?
I think they need to get through Saudi Arabia first. Honestly, because I feel like the fatal four ways that they're doing for the qualifiers, because they didn't realize they did triple track qualifiers for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Now they're doing fatal four way qualifiers for Night of Champions. It's hilarious, but I don't give a damn about any of the qualifiers. I just can't wait for them to just proceed to the event itself. They need to get over it. They need to get over whatever that they have planned for Gunther and apparently Goldberg.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a thing. Is that really happening?
Unless Gunther just demolishes Goldberg, I do not want to see that shit.
Yeah, same. I feel like if there's gonna be his retirement match, yeah, thank God it's in Saudi Arabia. It's not like some big, SummerSlam event and all
Wait,
that.
is that what the dirt sheets are saying? Gunther versus Goldberg in Saudi?
That's what the dirt sheets are saying.
Okay lah, the Saudi money lah. Okay lah, let this Goldberg retire and give it, put one notch on Gunther's belt.
That's why I was saying like Triple H, the reason why he pulled the title away from Jey Uso was apparently because of this. So
Makes sense.
you're first to hear it. You might probably be seeing Goldberg on Raw this coming week. You never know.
As long as we see Sandberg, can
yeah, hey, Sandberg looking jacked, bro, day by day. It's
bro.
growing.
I want to see the Sandberg versus Steiner son.
It's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure of it.
At some point, huh?
Yeah.
But okay, so that's the WWE stuff. Again, like I don't feel bad when I haven't skipped a week, but I don't feel bad if I don't see it live or I don't see it on the Tuesday when it airs, right? Sometimes life gets busy, but during like the Bloodline era, every week was like, oh shit, if I'm up at this time or if I'm at home, I will watch, Now it's more like, Wednesday, then I watch Raw. Or Thursday, then I watch Raw.
Remember the months where like every time Sami Zayn appear, you are like, is he gonna get turned on? Who's gonna hit on him today? Who's gonna hit? It's like a telenovela. Yeah. I miss those days, but you gotta have peaks and valleys. Like you cannot have everything super good. I think then you won't appreciate it when it was really, really good.
Yeah. True. Okay. You very quickly want to bring up any AEW stuff? The only thing I've really kind of sort of paid attention to very peripherally, I see some of the social media stuff, maybe watch a YouTube video or two, is okay, so like I know MJF is part of the Hurt Syndicate now, they hurt people, but then he's because they are doing their Worlds Collide, they're doing what's it called?
Grand Slam Mexico.
Yeah, so he's going up against one of the top Mexican guys, Mystico.
Mystico, yeah.
I saw the promo where he called him like a Sin Cara or something like that.
A sloppy Sin Cara.
Sloppy Sin Cara, which was quite funny lah.
Yeah. So my question is, who came up with the idea first? Was it Worlds Collide and Triplia, or was it CMLL and Grand Slam Mexico? Which one?
I mean,
whose idea was it?
You cannot like credit anybody with the idea. These things have gone back even way before AEW or WWE was a thing.
Yeah. Okay, to be honest, I never knew what's the difference between Triplia and CMLL. But thanks to Worlds Collide, thank you guys once again, WWE production team, for educating an ignorant person like me. If you are not aware, CMLL is the one that is the long running promotion in Mexico, and Triplia was like a splinter from CMLL in 1992 to create their own promotion, which is very eerily similar to what happened in Japan. Don't you remember?
What are you talking about for New Japan and was it All Japan?
Yeah, I believe, was it Giant Baba's promotion, All Japan, AGPW? Could be All Japan, or what was the one where, remember a few years ago, Sting and Darby Allin retired one of the OG Japanese wrestler, the one with the mask, Great Muta.
Muta, right?
Yeah, that one they did one promotion, Noah. I do not know whether Noah is the earlier one or is it AJPW and then
See,
New
this
Japan
would have
came
been better served as a live stream. Then, all the Nashwan, all the New Japan people, they will come in.
Okay, no worries. Now, when this thing premieres, you guys on the chat, please educate us as well.
Comment away.
But the point I'm trying to make is that it's very interesting why WWE decided to pair up with Triplia as opposed to CMLL when CMLL was the traditionalists, right?
I mean, Triplia was just up for sale, law. It's just a money thing, law.
Was it really a case of CMLL is really tied in too deep with Tony Khan and AEW that like, hey, Triplia, come, let's go take them over.
And you know what? I learned more about Mexican wrestling from that one Worlds Collide than I have watching however many hours of AEW.
Forbidden Door.
And then presenting it, but never actually educating anybody on it.
Remember that one time last year, was it like MJF fight Hichichero?
Hichichero, yeah.
And I'm like, who? Where is he from?
Very quickly, right? I actually rewatched Chad Gable versus Vikingo, right?
Yeah.
And okay, is it a stretch to say that Chad Gable completely outshone Vikingo? Because here's the thing.
Bro, we just had a love fest of Chad Gable last episode, bro.
We will do it again.
I was thinking again, okay.
Even though Vikingo is like, he can do a lot of athletic stuff, right? And this was the thing that like it never impressed me when he had his matches with Kenny Omega, even though they could do a lot of like cool moves. His facial expression like never changed one. Like he doesn't sell like or like anger or passion or like
Yeah.
adrenaline, whatever. Whereas you see Chad, he's selling his ass off.
That is why even until today, people are still talking about Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam 2002, right? That was Rey's, I think, WWE debut match. And
Yes.
the crazy thing was as great as his showcase of his skills were, it was Kurt Angle that made it super memorable.
Right.
The
Right.
selling, the emotions, how he
Yeah.
reacted, everything and all that. And bro, Chad Gable is really a regen. I've never seen a regen in WWE so
Perfect.
legit. Yeah, he really is a regen. Yeah, honestly, if you can have put Chad Gable with any other luchador, and I think he would have given him a 5-star match for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so anyway, just back to AEW real quick. What's standing out for you?
Okay, so right now they are building up towards All In 2, right? Weird. I'm gonna say this is super weird, but there's actually a case of long-term storytelling right now in AEW that it's kind of paying off, at least for me. You know how for years Hangman and Swerve has been at war with each other. Yeah, so right now they are paying it off very subtly. I must give them credit. Uh, where there's a situation where actually Hangman has realized the error of his ways and is kind of like trying to build some sort of relationship with Swerve, or like kind of begrudgingly, accept that maybe he was he was also a problem lah. To quote Taylor Swift, "I'm the problem." There was this very interesting segment on backstage, because I think Hangman and no, sorry, Swerve and Osprey had a hell of a match on Dynamite, but it had a shitty ending because it was a 30-minute Broadway. It went to draw, and then a typical AEW, Swerve wanted to ask for like a sudden death, right?
Yeah.
And then now you have the de facto heels, Death Riders, and Young Bucks kind of destroying it and like making a mess out of it. But then backstage, as they were like in the trainers room, I think Hangman was kind of like calling off Young Bucks, because I think Young Bucks came to Hangman and say, hey, we've kind of like cleared the way for you to win your title against Moxley, blah blah blah. And then he said, just stay out of my business. I don't want you to involve. And then he said, stay out of Osprey's business, and then stay out of Swerve's business. And then hilariously, he was saying it outside like a trainer's room. Now all of a sudden, Prince Nana pick out. And Prince Nana was like, ooh. He said stay out of that was business, right? So and then after that, he walked away, Hangman walked away, and then the camera went into the trainer's room, and then right beside Nana, who was it? It was Swerve,
of
getting his injuries being nursed by the doctor. And then Nana was like, "Did you hear what he just said?" And then he was like,
Okay,
every word.
So can we expect next week Hangman buys Swerve a new house?
Well, I don't know whether they will be that kind of friends.
Make up, really make. I know they're trying to push this whole like begrudging friendship or begrudging alliance, even though they have this horrible history with each other, right?
Yeah. I have a feeling there is gonna be something at play when it comes to Hangman fighting Moxley for the title. And then the thing is, you got Osprey, who is supposed to. Everyone thought he was gonna win the Owen Cup, but then they went with Hangman instead, right?
Yeah.
So we do not know where that factors in. But all I know is like I think it's a similar situation where they are trying to build up multiple contenders, and genuinely the main event contenders at least are of a certain level where okay, I can see them as main eventers. Osprey, Swerve, and that's it lah.
Did you see
Hangman.
that clip? I think Osprey was cutting a promo, right? And then he's talking about this AEW is shit right now because you're the champ, and will always be shit as long as you're champ. So like basically admitting AEW is shit lah, which is hilarious.
Well, the first step to recovery is acknowledgement, right?
Admitting the truth. Oh god.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I just think man. I don't know, man. I've lost a lot of like buzz, and I don't want. Okay, respect is not the term. I feel like, when he first came in, it was like, okay, he could be that next guy. He could be their next flag bearer, champion, man on the poster. And as time goes by, as with everything AEW, he's just sort of become one of the guys.
Has there ever been a character in AEW where, as time went by, he actually gotten more over? I can only think of one.
MJF, but that was with CM Punk.
Yeah, he had a peak and then he went through a valley,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping he's coming out of it with the Hurt Syndicate eventually, right?
I think hanging out with those guys in the locker room is probably a good thing for him. Like, MVP probably teaching him stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I wanted to mention is I know 8 years ago the biggest match in the world, for all the indie lovers is Kenny Omega and Okada. I have no idea what a 2025 Okada versus Kenny Omega is gonna look like. Um, I don't have high hopes, but I saw the vignette on AEW and I posted it on the Discord as well. Shout out to the Discord if those of you who haven't followed. Um, I do not know who they got as a narrator. They probably they plucked from New Japan or something, but they actually did a hell of a promo. Like they made me hype for it. They talk about the history and then they reference whatever went down 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Created like again a canon event that led to AEW build the bill of AEW, and even though they diverged for a bit, while Okada was trying to kind of like hang on to New Japan as the standard bearer during the pandemic, and then eventually they came back. So like all those story was well told, but the thing is, we've just put up with like a year or almost 2 years of Okada being whatever a joke of a character he is in AEW.
Yeah, and wrestling like shit matches to be like real frank,
So it's like, how do you get back that aura, right?
I don't know. Like what? Have him go out there and demolish people. You cannot. I don't know. But then just to be fair as well, right? Let's talk about Cena then. Cena has not had great matches since coming back.
Yeah,
his matches have been like sort of average or most likely shit.
Borderline shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, do me a favor, if you got time, just watch that promo. Just watch it with my lens, where in my head I'm thinking, right, like I have seen all this nonsense in AEW, but somehow this promo managed to get me back to like the vibe I felt when I first saw Okada and Omega. Like, holy shit! So, what do you think that could lead to? So I do not know, because right now there's a lot of tease that they are unifying the international title and the continental title. They should have called it intercontinental title. There are rumblings that that is gonna be their second main world title.
Second main world title. So like Raw and SmackDown have their own world title. Oh god. Oh.
So my question is,
but you don't have two shows.
Well, Collision, I guess.
Fuck off with your collisions, yeah.
Okay, so now they're calling the title Unified Title or something like that. I can't remember, some nonsense name.
No.
So what's gonna happen to the Continental Classic? That's one, because technically the winner of the Classic is supposed to win that. And what does that do to your other titles, like your TNT title? Is it gonna be a full-on mid-card now? I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll find out from you or from social media, because I still ain't gonna watch it.
Are you gonna watch All In then?
If something really exciting pops out on social media, maybe. But
okay,
still,
so you watch it after the fact, like you won't watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay like whatever, like $50 to watch that.
I mean, if nothing else, I appreciate what they're still doing. AEW, like they have a place, right, in this industry at this point in time. Sure. But yeah, like it's gonna take a lot for people to like wanna kind of interact or like have anything to do with their product at this point in time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, that said, #oh no. Let's do something we haven't done in a very long time. The last time we did a watch along was the Kenny Omega match, wasn't it? It was Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Was it? That was like years ago, right?
Yeah, we haven't done a watch along in a long time.
So was it that like Golden Lovers one?
Yeah, something like that. Golden Showers versus Kenny versus Young Bucks.
I don't know what that says about the product. Maybe because the product was so hot for such a long time that we could only like review current stuff. Remember, there was a period where we couldn't there was a period where we were always like reviewing and looking back at old stuff because there was really nothing much in the current product.
Yeah. I think so. It was. It was a rough time.
Yeah, but the product I think was doing well in the last year or 2 years that we can only focus on the current product. So I guess now is the perfect time to kind of like revisit certain things as well.
Well, that and also because and today's watch along will feature a local wrestling event, right? SPW Mayhem. That unfortunately we weren't able to be there, but we heard a lot of good things about this match.
Yep. Shout out to Prabhu. If you guys want to look back at the review that Kick to the Gut did, Prabhu was there. We had a whole episode dedicated to that a few weeks back. But this will be our first time, you and me, Mr. Young, watching one of the matches on the day. Well, it's not gonna be the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Aiden Rex match because that is not on YouTube yet. But
There
this
it is.
this was a personal request, Mr. Young.
Ah, yes. And it was a very physical match from all accounts. We're talking about canon events. That should be his thing, huh? His finisher should be called a canon event. My PW's Carlo Cannon, who, I mean, we had, remember that one video we did and then he interrupted and then, bro, just his presence. You talk about wrestling as a visual, like, spectacle, right? Just him being there, you scared already, bro. Like he walks in a room and he commands that attention.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, he's amazing. And I did hear there was some incident that happened to Carlo Cannon right before this event a couple of weeks ago. I think there was some issue with his flight and his passport, and he got kind of like stranded, in Malaysia. And that was a very harrowing experience for him. So this is his first match since that incident, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of passions running. I'm sure he's glad to just be in the ring again and like doing a big match of this nature. So I got a DM from Butcherman directly, specifically asking, if we could actually do a watch along of this and share with him our thoughts. But I took it one step further. I went it to you, Mr. Young, and I said, like, instead of doing that, let's just put it on the podcast and share the thoughts publicly for everyone.
Well, you know what? If there's anybody I would love to, watch along with, it's you. And if there's anybody's match I would love to watch along, it would be our dear Butcherman. So here we go. If you want to watch along with us while we watch, by the way, this is up on SPW's YouTube page. I highly recommend you go and watch it. We're going to watch it without the sound because it would be very weird if we talk over the commentary, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can hear our beautiful voices. And I'm very excited because this is the 2024 Kick to the Gut Singapore Wrestler Top 20 Top Singapore Wrestler of the Year last year.
Right.
And he's defending his crown. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how it went.
Yes, this is for the SPW Southeast Asia Championship. Okay, if you want to sync it up with us, we are at the 3 minute 45 seconds. So 3:45, very easy to remember, right? So you go ahead, you pause this. If you're watching this right now, you pause it. And then, you're listening to the audio, you go to the YouTube page and then you go to 3:45, if that's what you want to do. Or you can, if you're watching it on YouTube, you watch it along with us, huh?
Yeah.
But if you want to sync it, you can sync it right now in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. And this is the intros right now. Holy hell. Ooh. Dude, it's a dude on fire, yeah.
Wait. This is the entrance or the Titantron?
This is the entrance, the Titantron for Carlo Cannon.
Oh, damn.
Bro,
okay.
And his like blue contacts is damn scary, And
Shout
then the
out,
blue hair.
Shout out to the production team on SPW because I think this is the first time I'm actually watching a SPW match directly from the YouTube channel.
Check it out. My PW World Champion. Like, this is what I said about like presentation matters, right? Like, look at him. He is like Rhino, but with blue hair and wearing a Sub-Zero mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love his presentation and,
Imagine that walking towards you. Imagine that walking towards you.
Can you?
In a dark alley.
Bro, I can see him shoulder to shoulder with like a Jacob Fatu,
Yes.
JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb.
I cannot get used to that name. Oh, there you go. He takes off the mask right there.
There you go. Blue on blue, bro. And check it. Shout out to the MyPW title as well. It looks good, bro. It looks legit.
So he has that tattoo on his hand, the back of his hand, right? And it's a skull, and he puts it over his face.
Yeah, it's really cool. Talk about Singapore versus Malaysia rivalry. This is pro wrestling's version of a Singapore versus Malaysia rivalry. You have the Malaysian world champion and you have the Singapore world champion.
Right.
So it's going to be a really fun clash. Like a horse fight. And
right? The two of them are very physical style. This is the exact opposite of Zack Sabre Jr. versus Aiden Rex. If you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Right now we're seeing the entrance of Da Butcherman, yes?
Yeah. I love his song. I know he uses a version of the Beastie Boys, right? Yeah, I'm not sure whether he's using this as a title or he's using the horror's entrance music, but I'm pretty sure it's the Beastie Boys because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that song. And again, Butcherman, talk about character work. One of the most well-known, popular, beloved characters in Singapore pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He's. I think the thing about him is we've seen him grow and evolve so much.
Yes.
And shout out to him as well. He's getting a lot of buzz and coverage on big publications as well, bro.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it stems from that one promo. Remember that one promo that he did right before he won the championship where he was himself?
Yeah, and he gave the birth of the STD chance to statement, right? That one.
Okay, well, I don't know about that. That to me was a little bit distracting, but I
Yeah.
think that him being more him
Mm-hmm.
is a reason why he's connecting so much better with the crowd. He isn't just this crazed lunatic. There's nothing to connect with there. He's just a crazed lunatic who loves meat. Like what? But now suddenly he's this guy, right?
But I love the character, schizophrenic character, and the nature of it all, right? He can kind of switch in and out. I seen him cut his Ultimate Warrior like promo on one of the radio stations. I think was it Money FM,
Right.
and then I saw it on Kiss as well, and I believe he did a podcast with
Wait, hang on.
Malay
We
podcast
got
as well.
Carlo interacting with the crowd. Is he like shoving somebody in the crowd? Look at this. Look at this. He must be drunk. Because no way in hell, like you see a guy like Carlo Cannon and you want to like flex on him. Sit down, little boy. Sit down.
Look at that jabroni, bro.
Look at him trying to go puff up and flex on Carlo. Bro, Carlo Cannon's arm is bigger than your head. Sit
What was
the hell
that?
down.
There was that one wrestler, I think was it like a Jacob Fatu or what, who kind of like completely just like side clothesline one guy on the ring apron like a fat guy. Remember this?
No, what?
It was some indie show. I remember it's probably the same kind, bro, almost similar interaction like that.
Yeah.
I tell you, okay, one thing about SPW's crowds is they are a rowdy ass crowd. They are like a Friday night after work, I'm gonna get drunk kind of crowd.
Yes.
Very interesting the contrast with them and Grapple Max, I might say. So it really depends on your vibe. You want some danger, you want some shit hitting the fan kind of situation. Yeah. SPW is the way to go. And I can just walk over from my house. So
Right. Yes.
yeah. Love the venue for that.
That's always a perk, huh? That's always a perk. We got referee Ryan looking very intense in the ring as well.
Yeah, just to clarify, this is just for this SPW Southeast Asian Championship. My PW's title not on the line, right?
No,
title
it's not on
v
the line.
title.
No, it's not title v title, which kind of gives away a lot if you think about it. But
there have been situations where there have been double champs. I think
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But My point though, like because the MyPW title is not on the line, you kind of know who's gonna win, right?
Yeah. Bro, I got a question. I don't know whether it's controversial, but I'm really curious. Actually, I'm not sure. So if whoever that's watching can probably explain. We've seen a lot of collaborations between MyPW and SPW, MyPW and Grapple Max.
Yeah.
Where's Apex Wrestling in all of this?
That's a good question. I'm sure there's a story, Dark Side of the Ring, Southeast Asia version at some point.
Or is maybe Shaukat is kind of like, leveling up his stuff and like doing all this work with Booker T's promotion, right?
Yeah, Reality of Wrestling, right? So
Reality
maybe
of Wrestling, yeah.
hasn't been on that ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw Phoenix just debuted there as well, and I think they just announced that they are gonna do she's gonna do a match with Kylie Ray. Kylie Ray is going to Apex Wrestling, bro.
Yes, I saw. Actually, hang on. Is it just me or is this the first time SPW has a sponsor logo on the mat itself?
I didn't realize it. Who?
There
Where?
no Oni something.
Or is it the GNB comics? I can't tell.
It's some Oni thing.
Okay, can later when they do a mat wrestle spot, you go see lah. You let me know.
Alamak. So wait. Did they? So referee Ryan is standing right on the logo right now. But did they start selling space on the mat? WWE style. Oh, more crowd interaction.
I'm not sure. Okay, what do you think of the venue and the whole feel? Because I actually feel in terms of like an
Fuchao?
indie, Fuchao.
Yeah, it's a great spot for wrestling.
Yeah, I think right. Okay, for an indie promotion.
Yeah.
I think this is what you expect. I think I can imagine this kind of venue on WWE 2K and they're like, yeah, this is kind of like the underground promotions, that they do.
This is exactly it's a bingo hall lah. Like it's a space.
Yes, but like I would say in terms of production, it's visually what you expect, when you watch a
Oh yeah.
wrestling,
Oh, yeah.
indie event. So that's cool. Lots of ECW Hammerstein ballroom vibes, lah, I'm getting.
For sure.
Yeah.
So now we got Butcherman, we got Carlo. Carlo's turn is back on Butcherman, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, lots of posturing to start the match, lah. Oh, oh.
Carlo is getting on that second row. Is he crowd interacting again? Whereas Butcherman is like, okay, come, let's fight.
Okay, Butcher, I think you're gonna start kicking his ass, right? Oh, right about now. Oh, he got a super kick down. Oh, quick victory.
Of course not. That's not gonna happen.
Okay, I didn't like that because like Carlo had his back turn,
Yeah.
yet
He still
Butcher
got the
couldn't
comeuppance.
capitalize. Yeah. I would rather the heat being thrown on Carlo right now. But maybe they're trying to tell the story of Carlo being the bigger, more terrifying OP opponent, perhaps?
Yeah, wouldn't Carlo attacking Butcherman to start be the correct way to get that sympathy heat on the babyface? Because in this case, yeah, Butcherman is the babyface, right? So why would the babyface attack first and then still get foiled? Like a bit, but okay.
Which is what's happening right now, lah, essentially. So now
Yeah.
you can see Carlo picking his spot.
Stalking Butcherman a little bit. I love those shots. So look at that right hand. Oh my god, that left hand.
One of the better work punches in indie wrestling, yeah?
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? With work punches, like a lot of time. And this, WWE, AEW, a lot of people are guilty of this. We talked about it before. A lot of strikes look like shit.
Yeah. I mean, Carlo Cannon just works really snug. Look at that. Look at that chop, bro.
Chop.
Look at that chop.
No, look at that punch. Look, you see? Like, I don't know how snug that was, but you can suspend disbelief. At the end of the day, it's all about suspending disbelief. But when you have people fake forearming each other, I put my forearm on your collarbone, like it's very hard to suspend disbelief. But watch it, that big belly-to-belly suplex.
What a
like
fly.
everything Carlo does right now looks like it hurts, looks painful. You know what I mean?
Look at that baseball slide. One wrestler once told me, how do you sell a punch? You get punched. So sometimes it's fine. You just punch the fellow,
I feel like he's almost a bit of a throwback to that 90s era of worker that can work snug and it looks brutal. You don't need to do fancy moves because getting punched in the face is already very brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to do a 360 flip or a spinning tortilla or whatever the fuck.
Who does Carlo Cannon's physique remind you of, in your opinion?
Rhino lah.
Right.
You said it before, Rhino.
Yeah. He's giving Rhino vibe, but it's so weird because in the Singapore context, like everyone's naturally smaller, right?
Yeah.
He does look like a Goliath, despite
does.
despite the short stature.
Well, I mean, Butcherman matches him in like girth, I guess. Maybe not so much the physique lah, huh? But like seeing Butcherman in there with Carlo, it's not like a complete mismatch. Like if you put like a Bryson Blade in there with Carlo, it looks completely mismatched.
There was one time, I think, Carlo versus Eden Rex.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost you couldn't it's not even believable how
it's like a
how
child
much Adrian
versus
can
a
get.
man.
Yeah. It's weird. But again, right now, the opening minutes of this match is purely Carlo dominating Butcherman.
And in a very physical way. And then he's threatening the crowd again.
Is it the same guy?
He's that same corner.
Alamak, tell that guy, your ticket not worth you shitting on people, bro.
Well, like they always say, you can scold, you can yell, you can holler and boo, but just don't touch the wrestlers. Huh?
Do you see that? Do you see
the
that kick?
Kicked him right in the head.
So I tell you, the best way to sell a kick is to get kicked.
Okay lah. I think it's snug. And not. But I wonder if they just talk before the match. Like, let's go for it. Let's just do something super snug.
Okay, one thing I'm noticing about Butcher right now is that he's really selling the effects right now. Like, there's almost, if you talk about danger in wrestling, I feel the danger coming from Carlo. And now, as you can see, Butcher is trying to fight from underneath, trying to build some offense.
But he gets cut off. So yes, this is how you tell that story of like, he's trying to overcome this monster of a man in Carlo Cannon, right? Look at his face. Look at his eyes. I love it. He's like, what the hell just ran into me? Sort of eyes. Like he looks blur. I love it.
How was the placement of this match? I wonder because I'm assuming the main event was Zack Sabre Jr. and Aiden Rex. Was this right before like co-main event or halfway through the match or halfway through the
Somebody in
event?
chat let us know. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was before the intermission, like a
Like
match to get everyone hyped. But yeah, maybe it was before the main event because I think it deserves it.
I know we haven't really kind of been going to a lot of SPW events. I mean, since probably we talked to Butcher last year's Kick to the Gut Awards, I'm just assuming like he has had a couple of defenses of the title. Would you say this is his biggest threat so far
Oh,
this year?
for sure.
Right.
I mean, just from a visual standpoint, Carlo Cannon is a threat already. Look at that. Okay, we got Butcherman fighting back. He reversed a suplex and then slapped him in the face.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna set him up for a suplex from his from
the knees.
Butcherman just suplexed Carlo from his knees, from Carlo's knees. That's very impressive.
Impressive
on
bit
both
of
their parts.
strength. Yeah.
Because
impressive bit of
Carlo
strength.
would have had to jump up from his knees for that.
Or it could be dead weight and it's all
Okay, it's
just
not. It cannot be 100% dead weight. Like that seems physically impossible.
Yeah, but you never know. Butcher got that gila energy, bro. That's what I call it.
There was a Gila energy.
Yeah, crazy energy.
Oh, Gila.
Gila.
Oh, okay. Giant elbow across the head. Carlo Cannon is winding up, backing himself into the corner right now, staring down the Butcherman. Oh, the Meteora.
Knees to the back.
Knees to the back.
If I'm using a football term, it's like Carlo got like 70-30 possession right now.
Here we go. Oh my god, the distance, the height on that German suplex.
Oh, that was a beautiful
He's
German
going for the
suplex, bro.
pin. Oh, wow. The height on that German suplex was insane, bro.
Nice setup.
Hey, Carlo's eyes like a bit red, huh? How come? Is it from the... Like he got glitter on him or what? What's going on?
The contacts fly off, is it?
No, the context is still there, but it looks like he has glitter. Maybe some of it got in his eye.
Bro, fun fact, when I was wrestling that match against Lady Killer, right, my one and only match, right, I was wearing contacts, right, but one time, Lady Killer clubbed my back, right. Literally, my contacts flew off, yeah. So you never know, man. I really don't know.
Oh, those like short kick to the face.
Yeah.
And the punches to the head. Butcherman with the defiant look, trying to survive.
I wish I could hear the crowd right now. I'm just wondering, like, how much is the crowd into like Butcherman as like the baby face, or like is the crowd so impressed by Carlo Cannon that they're kind of cheering all the strikes that he does?
It's actually good for us not to hear the crowd. Oh, he goes for a twisting senton, I suppose, and misses. It's good for us not to hear the crowd because we can actually enjoy the match. So we technically can't be swayed by any outside factor like random STD chants. Because crowd can come out with some dumb shit sometimes. Random shit. Carlo Cannon to the top rope right now. This looks precarious. Oh! Giant drop kick off the top rope from a guy that size. Amazing. Are you kidding me? Okay, so far I'm very impressed with Carlo.
Carlo is the star right now. And it almost feels like Butcher is just hanging in there, barely hanging in there.
Yeah, like he's getting a bit of offense here and there, a flurry once in a while, but he is definitely the babyface in peril in this match.
Is it giving you Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar kind of vibes?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah. Very interesting booking, I suppose, because maybe, SPW as Southeast Asian champion, you thought you would be more of an equal. But I think they're really putting Carlo as this like higher tier monster.
Yeah. And
going back up the ropes.
I think it's a better story to tell anyway. Because you want your sympathetic babyface to have to climb up and not be quote unquote equal right off the bat, right?
Yeah, there you go. So he managed to
him on the top rope.
Him. Okay. I think he's going to the top, going for, I'm assuming, a superplex, right?
Yes. So Butcherman is going for that superplex with Carlo sitting on that top rope. He's sort of milking the crowd a little bit, looking left, looking right. Here we go. Big
see
superplex.
The crowd. Wait.
Yeah.
Do you see the tremble on the right leg?
Yes.
Was it a sell or was he legitimately like, struggling?
I think it's a legit struggle, bro. Carlo is massive.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for being able to pull it off.
Any guesses on his weight? I'm assuming he's like probably almost 90 to 100, bro. I won't be surprised.
No, I don't know. But okay, now they're both on the mat. They're selling the repercussions of that giant superplex.
Oh, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd cheering.
Yeah.
Are they saying this is awesome? I'm hearing
I
it.
have no idea. But
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's gotten them. Oh, the face off. So they are like both on their hands and knees, pushing their head against each other. Oh, are they going to exchange?
They're
There you go.
going.
Nice,
They're going for your favorite spot, bro.
nice punch. No. This. Look at that punch. Looks 1,000 times more legit than any AEW like chop exchange or forearm exchange. Oh my god! Look at that, bro.
Carlo Cannon's
Some of those have to be potatoes lah. Cannot lah.
Cannot lah.
Bro. Okay,
Oh,
nice.
hey, that was solid as well from Butcher. He's fighting back. He's building up fire.
Yeah.
Oh, winding it up. Bro,
Okay.
we are commentating at this point right now. Let's go.
Irish whip.
Oh,
Thez press. Got the
Thez
punches
press.
to the head.
Shout out to Stone Cold. Shout out to Lutez. Building up momentum. I think this is
He's
his
biting him
comeback.
in the forehead. He's biting him in the forehead. That's
Come
his
on,
trademark
ref.
spot.
Just let him be. Let him just kill him. Okay, so now I'm assuming we are into the third inning of the match. We're having Butcherman building up his comeback. Do you feel that it is well paced at this point in time?
Yeah, I think so. So far, we've had basically Butcherman get his ass handed to him for the most part. So now we have this little comeback. Like, the question is, slingshot, spear from the outside in, goes for the
Nice.
pin. Carlo kicks out. Yep, no, it's way too early for this to end. So this is like Butcherman's flurry moment. Oh, that power bomb. Okay, so Carlo slipped out. Yeah, that was a little bit of a rough spot there.
That wasn't pretty. I mean, you should have gotten just one count because he
yeah.
essentially slipped out of the powerbomb. Not he got slammed, but
Yeah.
I can imagine at this point in the match, he's
Bro,
probably
hang on.
super exhausted, bro.
Bro, he has
What?
glitter in his hair.
Damn.
Carlo.
Where is that coming from?
It's in his hair. He probably put it. What do you mean where? He probably put it. Hey, he doesn't sweat glitter, bro.
You never know, man. Okay.
That's very
this-
manly for. Who's to tell Carlo Cannon he cannot put glitter? Huh? Go,
I
you
never
tell
say
him.
anything, bro. Wasteland.
Giant wasteland from Butcherman to Carlo. Very close to the ropes. Oh, but Carlo still kicks out.
I believe, if I'm not wrong, if you were to watch this, Butcherman, is your finisher the meat splatter? Is that the one, or is it something else? Can't remember what you call your wasteland finisher. But
I love that. Butcherman just threw his elbow pad out of the ring and then he hit some girl in the foot. And then she like moved her foot back like, ee.
Such a Singaporean thing, bro.
Ee.
Yeah, so scary. So sweaty.
All right, here we go. Butcherman steps out.
What
goes
is
to
this?
Carlo.
What is this apron spot?
He's going for wasteland on. Oh, from the apron to the floor. That's what he's trying to do. No,
it a
but
meat
Carlo
splatter?
fights out. Cannot lie. Yeah. Carlo fights out. Gets him in the powerbomb position. Looks around in the crowd. Carlo is really selling. Oh, it's gonna be a pile driver on the apron. Wow.
Holy shit.
There better be a holy shit channel right now. Come on, guys.
Bro, look at that pile driver. What do you think about it? Wow,
it was good. I love that Carlo is still selling. Like, kudos to Carlo. So far, I'm very impressed. Like, he is. Yes, he's the monster. He's the aggressor. But he's also been through it with Butcherman. Thus, he's selling Butcherman. He's giving, making Butcherman's offense look great.
Bro, that pile driver was super scary. Scary. And I know part of me knows that, they're professionals and probably Carlo protected him.
It'll never not be scary, lah, bro. It's the hit, it's the neck.
It's not just that. It's how fast-paced that was executed, right?
Hey, Gore! Gore is in the crowd yelling
okay.
Running
Punt
punt kick.
Punt kick him, yeah. Okay, so Gore is in play right now. Gore is in play.
Well, I mean, he could be just hanging out just to support his friend. Oh, but Carlo is getting in Gore's face.
Trash talk.
I find it very interesting that Carlo's eyes are so red, bloodshot almost.
Yeah. I don't see a situation where Carlo loses right now.
Okay, hang on. Butcherman is bleeding.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, I didn't bring it up because you were saying something just now, right? But Butcherman went under the apron for a second. I was like, what's going on? Is he like looking for a chair? But now we know why he went under the apron for like a hot second.
Now we know. I mean, we don't lose the magic of it, right? We don't want to spoil the magic of it. But okay, now you got Butcherman back in the ring. You got Carlo going up the top rope. Is he going for a
Giant
splash?
splash.
It's a splash. Sorry, it's not a tsunami. It's a splash. Okay, 1, 2, and
no.
Ooh. 2.5.
Is this the first time in a
2.5.
long time we've seen an SPW talent blade? When was the last time we saw blood?
Well, I don't know about Blade, but I think we haven't seen Blade in a while. We haven't seen
Not
Blade.
Bryson Blade la lama boom. Okay, but I
Mm.
guess if any match deserved it, it would be this match, right? Because they are so physical, the two of them.
Yeah. And I mean, realistically, it will make sense to do a
Okay,
like a
so-
head bump.
Yeah. He's
Okay, he's-
Butcherman is selling it now. He's seeing his own blood. He's like almost worshipping his own blood. He gonna
Ooh,
slapped by Carlo Cannon.
the
And
slap.
his blood is psyching him up. He is the Butcherman after all. He should be
the
very used to
slap-
blood.
The slap and the sweat, bro.
Yes.
Ooh, what's gonna happen here?
He's calling him to like give him his best shot. Giant drop kick. And he no sells.
Oh, he's standing up.
He's doing the Hogan thing, but with blood all over his face. Come
Look at the crowd.
get
Look
me.
at the crowd coming alive.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Rolled up. Carlo Cannon rolls up. Butcherman
half
into
crab.
a half crab.
Half crab. I can imagine if you look at the crowd at the background standing up, cheering, bro.
Yeah.
I
Rooting
can-
Butcherman on. Butcherman
Yeah.
seeing his own blood again and sort of it spurring him on. So that's the story here, I guess. Like his blood is like, pushing him to that next level.
Are we seeing a Bret Hart Stone Cold moment right here?
Okay, not quite lah. I wouldn't consider those two in their categories, but oh my god, these stomps to the back of the neck. Holy shit.
Dude is dead. Dude is dead.
Dude, there's some potatoes in there, man.
Damn. Okay, there's a lot of peril here from Butcher. Again, I don't see a situation where Carlo is gonna lose.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Like Butcher's barely conscious at this
like
point.
I would say though, so far it's 70-30 in favor of Carlo, right?
Yeah. It's freaking. It's
And
like
you
a
know-
mauling.
And as a horse, as a brawler type wrestler with that
Yeah.
sort of size, this is the perfect match for him. Like he needs to be the one dominating this match. So you give your babyface that come from behind heat. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Nice, beautiful.
And he sold the elbow shot.
Oh,
Sleeperplex. Wow.
Dragon suplex, right, I believe.
It's-
1, 2. Hey,
Oh, wait.
Wait.
The lights go out. Wait, did he win?
that
Or
was
did
a
the
win,
lights go
right?
out?
That was a three count, right?
Wait.
Was it?
I guess.
That caught you unaware.
Wow. That was a sudden win. He caught him in the sleeper, threw him back, so it's a sleeper suplex. And it's a 1, 2, 3. What?
That's not his finisher, right?
I guess it is now. No, because he has a new finisher. Like the Wasteland hasn't been his finisher for a while. But holy heck.
did he just absorb Kenny Omega's moveset after fighting him? Now,
Oh,
because that is one of Kenny Omega's signature move, right? Like a
the
dragon suplex.
Snapdragon.
Yeah.
do
I'm
you
not
call
sure exactly what it's called, but yeah. So, I would say that was unexpected. Like, did it build up to the win in your opinion? Was it?
Ooh. I mean, I like that it was sudden. It was a sudden, like, he pulled it out of nowhere. I think what they're trying to do here is they're trying to give Carlo his flowers as well. Like, and this opens, you know what this opens the door for?
What?
Rematch.
Yeah.
Oh, you got lucky. You caught me with one move. You know,
It was
I
out of nowhere move.
yeah,
right?
I had you for like 90% of the match, and then Carlo begrudgingly shakes the hand
there you go.
of the Butcherman.
You have the handshake, the mega powers unite. Interestingly, bro, no shenanigans from Butcherman this time round, right? No licking of the hand and no doing
no.
any sticking of this stuff that he does.
Which is what was needed because he was in peril most of the match.
yeah.
That was a really good match. I kind of wish we were there, bro.
Yeah, but to be really honest, I wasn't a fan of the ending.
Right.
It just felt so abrupt, like the build.
Maybe okay, so here's the thing, right? Like here's my thought on that as well. Like I feel like maybe at the end Butcher could have sold like the beatdown because it was almost like, okay, he hits that finisher real quick, sudden pin, sudden win, and then he's like, oh, I'm back to 100 already. He's there, he's posing, he's smiling, blah blah blah, the handshake and everything, right? And let's not forget, the video is probably edited down. So there's probably stuff in between we weren't there. to see,
Maybe,
right?
perhaps,
So that he could have sold it a little bit more. I'll give him credit. I mean, the benefit of the doubt, rather. So, but yeah, to see him suddenly just after such a brutal match where he was beat down for 70% of the match, suddenly he pulls off the victory and then he's like, oh, post, like, oh yeah, great, I won. I feel like maybe he could have sold it a little bit more. Yeah. But I'm generally okay with that finish.
Well,
as long as it leads to another match.
You know, for the Singapore Wrestler Top 20, one of the criteria is for us to grade a match or an event, we need to either be there live or have seen a footage of it.
There you go.
So technically, we've seen this footage. So maybe let's do a bit of a tease for our audience. What would you grade Butcherman's performance in terms of star ratings?
Wow. So here's the thing, right? I feel like that's because everything I'm thinking about it in my head. I love that you put me on the spot because initially the first thought I wanted to put out there was Carlo Cannon did a fantastic job. I think he shined in this match, right? And he did a great job of putting Butcherman over. But of course, let's not, discount Butcherman's contribution here. I think, first of all, I really enjoyed the match. I think you want to give it a star rating. Like, it was a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to give individual star ratings, I would say, but he lost. But Carlo lost. But then again, we're not grading the Malaysia wrestlers. But you know what I mean, right? Like I feel like Butcherman was put over very well by Carlo. So I'll give Butcherman a 4.
It's not exactly Vikingo versus Chad Gable. There wasn't a clear, distinct star. Even though Carlo, I would say, outshine Butcher for a majority of the match. I think maybe that was the story that they were trying to tell, right?
Yes.
You have this monster, like forcing the champion to fight underneath.
Yep.
Everything, I think, leading up to the last third of the match was really, really good in terms of like building up sympathy.
Yep.
The comeback was really, really good as well. I just felt like the ending was too abrupt for me to climax, for lack of a better word.
You're right, because the second it happened, we were both like, is that it? Wait, what?
We were in mid-conversation, bro. We were not even like thinking that was going to be the end. But that aside, if I could take that out, that would probably just chalk up 1 star away. So I would also give it a 4. I would say 4 is a good performance. And of course, he was defending the title, defending SPW as a promotion, defending Singapore's turf, and he came out and survived. So kudos to Butcherman, and thanks for letting us check out your match, and that's our review of it.
Look, after watching that match, I want to see more Butcherman. I want to see more Carlo as well. Like, there's so much that he did in there that impressed me in terms of, like, we talk about strikes. And again, I don't know how many of those were potatoes, but those look legit. Like, I could watch the two of them just throw hands and not do a single Hurricane Rana and still be impressed.
I mean, I've always been a fan of Butcher. There's a reason why he's our top Singapore wrestler of last year. He's now the defending champion. He's basically on the Cody run from last year, right?
Right. And that's why you needed to put him in peril in a match like this, because if he's always the guy on top, then it's like, okay, what's the story, right? But he was fighting from behind for most of this match. Again, that finish, abrupt, yes, it was. It took all of us by surprise. But I hope it leads to a second match. Have they fought before, actually?
I believe they have, but probably in a multi-man situation.
Right.
Probably.
I would love for this to be a series. I think they can do so much more.
Basically, they can sell out the territories with this match, bro.
Yes, maybe do one in Malaysia and then do one in Singapore.
Do one in Singapore, do one in Malaysia, do one in Thailand.
Oh,
why not?
Best of 5.
Yeah, best of 5. And then end it right back here where it all began. I wouldn't mind that.
Hell yeah. There you go. Once again, thank you everybody for watching the podcast. As always, we have a Discord page where you can come on, hang out, and chat with us. We have Patreon also. If you want to take the support that you have for this podcast to the next level, do consider becoming a Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, you enjoy the content that we do, you can be a monthly subscriber. There's different tiers. Or if you just want to give a one-off donation, some people just purchase the post. So a lot of people, when we release the Singapore Wrestler Top 20 reviews, you can just purchase it and just take a read, and that helps and supports the podcast as well.
Absolutely. And talking about supporting the podcast, we always got to send some love to Hasif _captures on Instagram. He is the sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And, I'm a big fan of the community that we're building. He's very supportive of us, and he wants us to succeed. So in return, we also want Hasif to succeed as well. If you're looking for any sort of, advice when it comes to entrepreneurship, finance, F&B, anything under the sun, Day with Hasif is an ongoing series. Feel free to have copy with him and tell him your podcast boys sent you.
Bro, fitness also lah. Look at my guy. Look at my guy with some of his photos, some of his videos here, huh?
There you go.
So yes, once again, Hasif_captures, drop him a follow and drop him a DM if you want to have #Day with Hasif.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day, bro.
Yeah, oh yeah, again, happy Father's Day, even though I'm not dad and you're not a dad, but hey, in some situations, we're daddy. Yeah. Like
yeah,
Dom.
there you go.
Hey!
That's what I was trying to lead you towards, bro. Let's go.
Bro, you're leading me to very unsavory places. But that aside, we say thank you so much for hanging out with us on the podcast. We'll be back again next week. As always, we'll update you on the podcast on our Discord lah. But till then, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Take care.